tenant besties. It's your girl, yours truly, Tamara Lachey, and today we are going to talk about a hot topic. We got to touch on disputing landlord debt, evictions. I got a strategy and I want to teach you guys. Make sure that you stay to the very, very end of this video because we are going to talk about the top 3 rental agencies that house your landlord debt, that house your evictions. So we're going to talk about it. So make sure you stay until the end of this video. Okay, y'all, so let's jump into it. As the eviction coach, one of the questions that I always get all the time is, can you dispute your evictions and landlord debt off of your credit report? The answer is yes. Not only off of your credit report, but we have to remember that most of those rental debts or evictions are housed with tenant screening agencies, and you definitely can make sure that you dispute them. And it's about time that I teach you guys how, because you guys ask me every day. So now it's time for me to give you the tea. Now, before y'all get started, you know I got to give y'all a little bit of disclaimer. This is for the people that are serious about fixing their credit profile and their rental history profile. This is not a get rich quick. This is not a fix quick. This is going to require your time, and it's also going to require your patience. And I want for you guys to go in knowing that it could take up to 120 days. At the least, it could take 90 days. The method that I'm going to teach you is literally a wash, repeat cycle, rinse, wash, repeat cycle, until we make sure that these landlord debts, evictions are cleared from your rental screening profile. All right, so one of the first things that we're going to do is, I call it where it's at. We have to figure out where this landlord debt is housed. Where is it reporting to? The who, the what, the when, the where, and the why. And one of the ways that you are going to figure out this information is by going and making sure that you can pull your credit report. That's your first step. And you're going to want to pull these from those top 3 bureaus. And I will make sure that I put a link in the description so that you can obtain those easily, okay? And one of the things that I need for you guys to keep in mind is that this can be reported on just your rental history. It could also be reported on your credit report, or it could even be reported on both of them. So you also too have to keep that in mind. Now remember, we have to make sure that you get your 3 bureau credit reports pulled. So that's going to be from your Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. You want to make sure that you are able to get all of those. And I will give you guys some options and some links so that you guys can get them pulled for either for free or for $1. Okay, now once you have all 3 of these reports, you guys, you're going to review them, and you're going to have to figure out and look for the collection agency that may be housing your landlord debt or your eviction. You're going to be looking for the collection agency. Also, too, you're going to be looking for the originator of the debt. That could be the apartment company's legal entity name, your landlord's name. They're going to be the original author of this landlord debt or eviction. When you get those 3 bureau reports and you've reviewed them and you figured out all this information, the collection company, the original carrier of the landlord debt or the eviction, that right there is where you're going to start working these negative accounts at. So when you are getting ready to dispute these accounts, one of the easiest ways and one of the first things that you're going to want to look at and pay attention to are the dates. When you're looking at Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, you're looking at the date that these balances were open. Keep in mind, y'all, it's impossible for this same debt to be opened up on different days. So if all of these agencies have different dates, that's going to be the first red flag, and that's going to be your easiest way to start disputing these accounts. Now that you have all of the information, you're going to start working on your dispute letters. Remember, from what you looked at on your credit report, you already have the account number, you already have the reporting agency, and this is where you're going to start working and disputing this inaccurate information. And just make sure that you remember with these round one letters, that is what you're disputing. Inaccurate information. Like that's the verbiage that you're going to be using inside of your dispute letters, that the information that's being reported is inaccurate. And make sure that you remember, like, if you are someone and you have several different landlord debts or evictions to be disputed, and they may fall on different bureaus, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to check for inaccuracies, and you're going to do this same thing with all of them. So for example, you're going to write the same reason you're disputing them for inaccuracies. And then also too, if there are other landlord debts that may be housed by another agency, you're going to do the exact same thing. So for example, if you have 3 landlord debts and you have 3 different agencies reporting these different landlord debts, you're going to do everything that I just mentioned and send these dispute letters to all 3 of these different reporting agencies. And I already know what some of y'all are thinking. Girl, this is too much. I can't do all of that. Don't even worry about it though, because the coach got you covered. This is why I have launched my eviction removal strategy kit and landlord debt strategy kit, so that I can be right there in your back pocket with you all along the way. In this strategy, I am providing you with 3 letters that you are going to provide to the Bureau word for word. I tell you exactly what to say, especially if you are disputing inaccurate information. Now, remember I told y'all that it was going to take some time and it was going to take patience. But keep in mind, we've only gotten to the credit side of things. We've only established that. We still have to do phase 2. And now we have to do the exact same thing for the rental history side, where our landlord debts are housed. We have to do the same thing now for the rental history side. We work the credit side of our report. Now we have to work the rental history side. And guys, one of the things I gotta know that you want to keep in mind is that what's reporting sometimes on your credit report may or may not be being reported to your rental history side, and vice versa. What's being reported on your rental history side may not show up on your credit report side. Sometimes they can, sometimes it can just show, one can show on the other. Remember at the beginning of my video, I told you guys that I was going to tell you pretty much where to pull these landlord debts from. So the first one that you're going to want to pull is your Equifax rental. That's one. Your second one is going to be Experian Rent Bureau. And then your third one is going to be your TransUnion Rental Screening Solution. You guys, I promise you, 9 times out of 10, that is where you're going to find these rental debts. If you go and you get my eviction defense and lease dispute strategy, I tell you exactly how to contact these people. I tell you exactly how to make contact with them. And I want y'all to remember that this is a wash, repeat, rinse cycle. I need for you guys to understand that this strategy actually works. But I also want for you guys to give yourself some grace, and also to be patient with yourself. I need for y'all to understand that these evictions, these landlord disputes, they did not happen overnight. I need y'all to remember that evictions ain't the end. And for some of us, it's just the start to something new. We just have to have a new strategy. I am Tamara Lachey. I am the eviction coach, you guys, and I am here to help you guys elevate your living experience. Okay, and before we go, I need for you guys to check out this client review. She said, Tamra, I just wanted to reach out and say thank you. When I first came to you, I was stressed and confused. And honestly, I felt like I had no options between the eviction and this landlord debt. I thought I was out of luck. But your eviction defense and lease dispute strategy, it really works. You broke down everything the way I could actually understand it. You helped me understand for myself and made sure I wasn't getting taken advantage of. That's a big one right there. Because of you, I was able to dispute things the right way. I can't even explain the relief I feel now. You just didn't only give me advice, you gave me a plan with confidence. Girl. Anybody dealing with an eviction and or landlord debt needs to tap in with you. Forever grateful. Keep changing lives. Y'all, it's right there. You don't have to just take my word. You could take the word of the people. Overall, guys, I want for y'all to just be patient with yourself. Remember, when you're reaching out to these rental history bureaus, just make sure that you are putting all of the correct information, the account number, the original debt. Just make sure that you put the right information. Because remember, I'm providing you the sample letter. So you're just literally plugging in all of your information. And that's it, guys. I know you guys have been loaded with some really, really good information today. I am yours truly, Tamara Lachey, the eviction coach. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and share this video. And also, too, you might as well come over and join some of my other communities where we give more information. I'm with you every step of the way. Bye. Until next time.